Welcome to our live studio once again from New Orleans, the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals coming to you from the US. Now today, all-important day, first day of track action with racing, 2 qualifying heats for everybody, some good luck, bad luck, some really fast drivers and of course some surprises. So tomorrow we'll head into the 3rd heat and of course see who's going to qualify through to the finals for the last day on Saturday. Now to start off tonight, I've got some very special guests for the Micro, Max and Mini Max Invitational Race. And this is something that started last year with the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals in Portimao. Of course, this year it's bigger and better. We've got 2 classes and I've got some of the next generation of Rotax drivers and who knows where they're going in the future. We'll find out a little bit later. But I thought we'd start with Hannah. Hannah, Micro, Mini? Which one are you? Micro, Max?
Micro.
Yeah, and you're from the United States?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about why you like racing in the Micro?
I like racing because when we're going, we always have fun, and I'm always racing with my friends, and I like having competition with all of them.
Fantastic. Are they girls or boys?
Boys and girls.
Boys and girls. Fantastic. Go the girls. Okay, now next to you here we've got Dylan. Now Dylan's also from Team USA.
Yep.
Dylan, what can you tell us about racing Micro and Mini? Where do you race?
I race all over the country. I'm going to Europe in the summer for the big worlds next year.
Yes, and just so people know you, Dylan.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what you've done this year and maybe your best results?
I'm the Grand National Champion, #1 in the United States. I'm a 2-time Pan American Champion. I think Spring National Champions and Summer National Champion.
Okay, do you share the wins with anyone else?
Harry.
Harry, your friend. Let's talk to Harry. Okay, Harry, now Dylan's just given us a rundown on what he's done. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about where you race and also which championships.
I've been racing about all across the country. I've been racing Utah in 2011, Michigan, I think it was Michigan. No, not Michigan.
Somewhere there.
Miller Motor Sports Park in 2011, and I did the Grand Nationals with Dylan in 2013, and we had a good battle through our years, and we've been battling it out since we were really little kids.
Now, since you're really little kids, how old are you now?
10.
10. And you're 11. Okay. Now, what do you like about racing Rotax?
Rotax is just reliable. It doesn't break down and you're going through a corner. And then
Kids are so honest, aren't they?
And then when you're always focusing, it just feels better to focus, and it's just so much smoother, and it just awesome.
You just love it.
Yeah.
It's great to have you here. And before we go any further, I think we should speak with our Mexican driver. Now, Emiliano, maybe you just pass the microphone. I know Harry likes to keep the microphone, but I heard this. Thank you, Harry.
Hello.
Hello, all the way from Mexico.
Yes,
Yeah?
I'm representing here Mexico on Minimax.
Yes.
And
How old are you, Minimax?
I'm 10 years old.
Yes, 10 years old. And in Mexico, how is the racing? You like the racing in Minimax?
Well, yes, I'm Grand National Champion from Mexico.
Grand National Champion?
Yes.
Okay.
I won the Florida Winter Tour Palm Beach. I
Right.
won on Micromax
Okay.
in 2014.
Okay. And what's the best thing about being here at the Grand Finals?
It's very cool.
Yeah? You were part of the Team Mexico. You got some good drivers.
Yes, I have a teammate.
Yes?
Yeah, his name is Manuel Suleiman. He's
Yeah.
a very good driver, and I'm very happy to be here.
That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Fantastic. And maybe now we'll speak to your Canadian rival, Antonio.
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Antonio. I do races around the world, everywhere. Italy, America, Canada, around the world.
Okay, so
and-
what's the best thing for you to come to the Grand Finals? What's the best thing about it?
It's cool, and it's really a lot of fun, like racing with all experience with these people from America and Canada. And they're good drivers, and they have a lot of experience. And
I think so.
Yeah.
From what I've heard so far, we've got a few champions, but
Yeah.
we've also got some very, very competitive people here.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And who's your favourite driver in the big, in the DD2 and the senior, the big boys?
Pierre-Luc.
Pierre-Luc.
Ben Cooper.
Ben Cooper. All Canadians?
yeah, all
yeah?
Canadian,
Yeah, okay. So now we're going to speak to Matthew. Now, Matthew, I know your brother. I met him last year at the Grand Finals in Portugal.
Yeah.
He's off there racing now Formula cars this week, I think, in Macau.
Macau. Yeah.
But tell me, what do you race? Where do you race?
Well, I race all around the world.
In Canada?
And in Canada and everywhere. And
Yeah.
I'm a 2-time ECKC champion.
2 times champion.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in 2012, I won the Canadian Nationals.
Okay, Canadian Nationals. Alrighty, we've got some really, really tough competition here, guys. I hope you guys down there listening in the front row, because the Canadians have got a good team here behind you. Also, Mexico. Yeah. And what's the best thing about being here, being part of Team Canada?
It's fun to watch all the best people from around the world race against each other, and the races are cool to watch
They're really good
and
to watch.
intense. And
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And last but not least, your teammate, Patrick. Now, Patrick, I guess you also race in Canada?
Yeah, I race in Canada with Matthew.
Yeah, and Antonio.
Antonio was there, but I don't race with him because he's in Mini. But
And what do you like about racing, Mini or Micromax? Which class?
I race micro. It's really competitive, especially with Matthew here winning everything.
Really? You think he might give you a chance this weekend?
No, I don't know.
Maybe?
Yeah,
Maybe you slip a few lollies in his
Yeah.
pocket?
maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what about the racing here at the Grand Finals? Was it a big, exciting... Could you sleep when you knew you were coming?
No, I couldn't at all.
No, it's really, really
Yeah.
good to have all of you guys here, and I know that you're all really good drivers. Is there anything else, any other reason why you love to be here and racing in the Rotax Grand Finals? No?
It's really competitive and it's all
Yes.
equal.
No
Yeah,
school.
yeah, no
That's
school.
the answer I was
Yeah.
expecting. No school. Yeah?
Yeah.
But it's cool. Okay. Now, of course, we've got one really important question that I need to ask everybody. Okay, so I don't know what the answer is, but we'll see. What's your dream in motorsport? We'll start with Hannah.
Mine is F1.
F1. Okay, the first lady in Formula One. And Dylan?
Ferrari F1, because Ferrari has a strong team, either Red Bull or Mercedes.
Okay, we've got it. I hope everyone at Ferrari are watching. Dylan's heading for F1 Ferrari. And Harry?
Formula One, Vodafone, McLaren, Mercedes.
Okay, you've got it sorted. Now we're going to come back to Patrick. Patrick, your dream in motorsport?
Race with Dylan in Formula One with Ferrari.
Okay, you guys are going to be teammates, I guess, are
Yeah.
you? In Ferrari?
Yeah.
Alrighty, I think the guys in Formula One have to worry, because really, we've got some great drivers here now.
Formula One and teammates with Harry Colton.
Okay, he's going to be Harry's teammate, so we're going to have a race team with 3, but he's in McLaren.
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, and Antonio?
F1, but Ferrari.
Okay, another Ferrari. So we've got 2 Ferrari drivers at least.
Really, I'm not sure if IndyCar or F1, but I prefer IndyCar.
Okay, IndyCar. We've got one for IndyCar, and there's one over there in the paddock. Did you sit in this IndyCar?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to have a look, because I spoke to some other drivers today. We'll watch on the video what their dream is in motorsport. It's very interesting, all around the world. Let's have a look. Welcome to day 5 of the Rotax Max Grand Finals here in New Orleans. And I thought this morning it's going to be a little bit cooler, but nice day, sunny, start of the qualifying heats, and I hope you can sit back, enjoy the live broadcast. I thought to start the day, we might ask a few of the drivers about their dreams, because here we have 53 different countries represented at the Grand Finals this weekend. In every part of the world, you hear the kids, the drivers saying, I want to be a Formula One driver. I want to be an IndyCar driver. I want to race V8 supercars or WTCC, DTM. Who knows? But it's very interesting for me. At the moment, we're right here in the Masters Road to Indy. And in America, where we're located right now, this is probably one of the most common dreams of the drivers you'll find here at the Grand Finals. However, also this weekend in Austin, Texas, we have Formula One. So I thought it might be interesting. We'll take a walk around the paddock. And of course, the kids can come and sit in the cars. Any of the drivers are welcome here. But we're going to find out what their dreams are. So let's have a walk around the paddock and we'll ask them. It could be interesting. Alexander from Mexico, tell me, what is your dream in motorsport?
I want to go to Formula One.
I want to be Formula One driver.
Formula One. Race Formula One.
Race Formula One.
I think karting is... I love karting.
It's quite ambitious, but I want to get to Formula One, as all race car drivers do.
Probably V8s in Australia.
2016, my career is pretty much towards the tail end, so I still like to probably do some races in Europe would be the ultimate goal, in KZ or DD2 probably next year, and then probably a few more years and hang up the helmet, I think.
Karting world champion.
Would like to go DTM in German there, but still lots of progress to go.
From Thailand and Indonesia, what's your dream in motorsport?
Like everyone's, go to Formula One.
Yeah, same as him, Formula One.
My dream in the future is driving the Formula 1.
My motorsport dream is the Formula One and DTM.
It is to become Formula One world champion.
But I think in Germany we have the DTM, which is quite a good class. That would be probably a pretty good goal to reach, so yeah.
What's your motorsport dream?
NASCAR driver.
Whatever, Formula One, anything. I would just like it to be my profession in the years coming.
Just to make a living out of racing, really. That's it. Be paid and do what I enjoy doing.
Making a living or try to make a living and just enjoy myself. Like, I don't have a specific series that I would love to drive in, but definitely probably something in the touring car section.
That it becomes a job and a way of life. Well, it is already a way of life, but that I can help others and earn some money.
Right now, I believe that I would want to do the trophy trucks right now, or like ultimately V8 supercars, but the trophy trucks look like a pretty cool venue right now and stuff like that.
My motorsport dream would probably be to go on to do Le Mans racing or some kind of Formula car racing.
Not necessarily. It'd be cool to do Formula One, but that's a little far-fetched, so even to do an IndyCar race would be awesome.
My motorsport dream is to make it to any paid drive in single seaters.
Now in Argentina are a very nice category. The name is Super TC 2000.
My motorsport dream is to have as much fun in kart racing as I can.
My motorsports dream is to have the best grand finals ever right here in NOLA Motorsports this coming Saturday.
Well, we're back. The kids had a great time. The drivers are all going different places, Formula One, DTM. It was really interesting today to find out where everyone's going or where they'd like to go when they leave the grand finals. Some said they'd just like to finish the grand finals as well, some of the masters. Okay, now I'm here with Helmut and Manfred. Now, these two guys have been to every grand finals. I've missed the first one, but so that's a good record, I guess. But you guys have been there from the beginning. And I thought it might be interesting just to take a little bit of a walk down memory lane while I've got you together in the same place. Of course, Manfred, you're not with Rotax anymore, but you're representing Haida now with the Mojo Tyre, the development, and liaise, I guess, with Helmut, who's the boss of the kart. You're the boss? Yeah, I think it's great to have you guys here together, and I think it's a perfect opportunity. Now, I don't know if you have any particular highlights or memories, success, challenges, but let's just look back. Maybe, Manfred, you could start. What about the beginning? I guess in the beginning was very small. The grand finals, Puerto Rico. Of course, a little bit of rain. Everyone had to take their own go-kart. Now, from there, where did it progress where you feel like, okay, we really made a big jump? Because we know that different things happened when we think about it. And of course, most of the people watching today may not know what goes on behind the scenes.
I mean, the biggest jump from the first was to the second grand final, when the Malaysian distributor hosted it in Langkawi, a beautiful island, you know, and he had really backup from the government. The Prime Minister of Malaysia was at the grand finals doing the opening lap. So it was really a fantastic place. It was paradise, it was cheap, it was party, and it was racing. Yeah. So this really, from the first grand finals to the second, was, I think, one of the biggest steps. Yeah. Maybe not in competitors, but, you know, from a very basic hobby level to a professional level.
And of course, the Prime Minister came with his security.
yeah, they had the bomb squad, you know, and two guys were standing there watching the card, inspecting the card, but then he did an open leg. And I think there's not a lot of countries in the world where the Prime Minister is coming to the event and doing a lap in a cart.
Yes, of course, that's where I drove the first lady to drive the RM1 cart. And
they did quite well, actually.
I remember you saying to me, now, this one's the brake and this one's the accelerator, but I didn't tell you I'd already raced before, many years ago. But this was really, in my mind, it was the first one and fantastic one. But like you say, a big jump. Helmut, from there, from Malaysia, do you remember any particular challenges that followed or successes that you believe? Because there were always unknown things that were going to happen, like the weather, for example. So is there anything that you can sort of say, this stays in my mind, the next jump?
Yeah, we had different challenges, you know. Also the weather, I think in Malaysia we had really tough times, you know. I think we had nearly half a meter of water on the track, yeah. So it took us some time to get back on racing, but finally we managed, and it was still a great race. I think it was not enough water, yeah, because at the end of the event, you know, everyone was swimming in the pool or were throwing into the pool, and this was quite exciting, and a lot of people still remember this grand final, especially for this.
I actually do remember when it rained, you had the fire brigade come and pump the water off the track, and the pits is actually like a triangle. So all the paddock space, all the people were pitted around this triangle, and the road was filled with water, and there were paper boats and all different things floating down. Yes. I remember one of the driver's sisters walked down with a bikini on, I think, and the whole place went up like it was Christmas or New Year. But no, this was really, and I think you're right, the atmosphere and everything. Of course, then we stayed in the same hotel as well. Yeah. Then it got bigger and bigger. So then we introduced a few more classes and different things. Manfred, maybe you can highlight some of the changes after this.
In the beginning, you know, the drivers were allowed to bring their own carts and their own equipment. And, you know, we had defined the boxes, which they had to bring to the distributor and everything. But then they were bringing bicycles in the boxes and, you know, all kind of stuff, chemicals, which were not allowed on the plane and things. The problem was to bring back the carts in time when in Australia, for example, already the season started and their chassis were still, you know, on the way back, you know. So that's why we had to introduce, you know, a monomark chassis type, the way you see it today. And of course, you know, there were people complaining, I'm not used to the chassis, but I think it's according to the spirit of Rotax, it should be fair racing for everyone. And it's the same kart, the same tires, the same engines here with those chassis. And so I think the best driver wins. And now after, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years since we introduced, I think everybody got used. And I think when you look down, you know, on the first day when there's the raffle and you see 300 carts in 3 rows lined up, I mean, it's really amazing, you know.
And of course, CRG came in as a partner early in the piece. You've got the likes of the professionalism that then started to come in. Danilo Rossi was leading the team, 5 times world karting champion. Today, I was talking with Mike Wilson, 6 times world karting champion. The professionalism then started to be a little bit more significant. So, then what?
Yeah, what should I tell you? I can tell you that what we see here, I'm quite impressed, yeah. That having in the different classes nearly 60 drivers within a second, this is really an achievement, and this confirms that this concept is the correct one, yeah. All the drivers, they have the same opportunity. It's really up to their skills how to drive and how to set up their karts. And that is the perfect result and the perfect picture we would like to show.
And it is very impressive, as Manfred said, when you look down. And when I did the paddock walk and the raffle, I actually said it gives me goosebumps every time I see this because it gets bigger and bigger, and it's just the most amazing sight.
And nobody can imagine what kind of logistic it means, you know, to bring the engines to the chassis manufacturers. They partly assemble for transport to bring it here. Then you have to mount the rest here, you know. It's an incredible logistic effort.
Just
really.
on that note, how many tyres do you think came from Heidenau to the Grand Finals? Do you know?
It was either 4,800 or 5,000. I'm not
That's
quite
a
sure
lot of
because
work.
I'm a little confused with the Micromax, Minimax,
Yeah.
you know. But this is...
Especially when you think they're all handmade.
Yeah,
They're all
yeah.
laid by hand.
Yep.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
Now, you said about it gets more professional. You like to see this. It's good. Fair and square, level playing field. Do you remember when we were in South Africa, what happened?
Yes. Yeah, we still remember. But, you know, this was a tough time, yeah. We have been really facing some serious technical issues. But again, you know, we have a strong network. And we got a great support from our distributor in South Africa. And all his customers, they supported the event in an incredible way. So we had to swap the engines during the event. And again, you know, the good drivers, they have been always the front runners. And it has proved the good quality and equal performance of the engine. I think this was an incredible exercise, even it was a difficult exercise for us.
It also brought a lot of people close together, helping each other, and created really a strong, you know, comradeship. I think that a lot of these guys, I even saw Claudio Piazzamuso today doing a video for South Africa and promoting the event. And I remember Malaysia, South Africa, you know, these guys have been here so many years along, and it really is a huge family now. So, and Manfred, is there anything else that we don't know about that maybe is interesting or challenging? The successes, when you bring in suddenly so many classes, so many different types of tyres now, not just one make, not one model. You know, even though you are not part of Rotax, like you said, you are still working together with the event. But are there any, I guess from the technical side, are there any things that you think at this point we are in another country, we have to work with what we have, and we have to make sure that the customer is happy, that the drivers are happy, the racing's good. Do you ever have any fears about what could be a challenge or what could be a success that you think, we've really got to do this? I don't know if you remember last year in Portimao, you said, we really need one of these Formula One generators.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm wondering, is that the next step, or because I'm searching here for information. Maybe you know something that you're going to do, and because this generator that you showed me was enormous. We had a look at it on the internet video as well. But what was the answer? No, it's not in the budget.
Look, when we talk about this compressor, you know, which is reducing the humidity and getting the humidity out of the compressor so that you have a real, always the same stable, standardized air without humidity, it has a huge effect. When you see how much effort the teams, the mechanics do to find the last tenth of a second, and then you go to places where they have a big compressor which was not rained for half a year, and you have 50 liters of water in there with a lot of humidity in the tire. This affects the performance of the tire because the tire differently expands. So when I saw this, I thought, oh shit, this is really American style, Formula One style. But this is not a question of the budget of Heidenau. This is something the track owners, you know, should bring, you know, because the customers are investing more and more money, you know. Rotax is investing a lot of money to improve, you know, or keep up with the style of the teams, or the driving style and the mechanical style of the teams, and with the track owners. I mean, the tracks, what we see here is very, very impressive. But, you know,
this is what I was thinking. When you talk about the tracks, this is the next challenge, is finding the best location. We've gone through the weather, 3 events, Viana also,
Yeah.
La Conca. We had this incredible storm with the lightning.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy to find, and also a good track for good racing. You know, so
I think when you say to find the best location, it's very, very difficult, because when we are talking 360 drivers, everybody is bringing approximately 3 to 4 people. So we are talking about 1,000 people, plus, you know, the staff to organize, you know, people from Rotax. So the best location, is it the best track?
Yeah.
Is it a convenient way to get to accommodation within 20 minutes, you know, with 1,200 people? So what is the best location? It's
Yes, this
for
is the
sure.
best.
This here is fantastic.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, for sure. And I think so many people love coming to America. So, which I just have to ask you before you run away, have you voted for the helmet challenge on Facebook as yet?
Unfortunately, we are not allowed to participate. Yeah, therefore, you know, we are out of the game.
And I'm not on Facebook, believe it
Okay.
or not.
You don't know you're missing. Okay, remember, make sure you vote on Facebook. We've got Kevin Ludi with his 2013 Grand Finals helmet, leading the way, 150 votes when I checked earlier. Then we have second place Simon Wagner from Austria with his Elaine Raceway helmet from the Grand Finals. And he's about 45 votes behind. And then a little bit behind this, and come on, get the French guys on there voting. We need the French and the votes for Morgan, who has the most incredible helmet that looks like a Rotax engine. If you haven't seen it, you have to have a look at this. It's fantastic. So, but we've had lots of people out there on Facebook. This is the next thing, helmet. What about social media? Do you know how many people have been watching the internet and Facebook and live broadcast?
Unfortunately, I do not have the exact figures. Yeah, I've just checking our Facebook site and have seen that we have already surpassed the 75,000
Yes.
members. Yeah, and which is quite a great achievement. Yeah, so that's the only figure I know for the moment. Yeah.
But 75,000 is quite impressive. Yeah, last night we spoke to Eugene and Gabby, who are looking after Facebook, and Eugene told us this, and he said within seconds, people are just liking this and loving that and asking for more. So, yeah, and unfortunately, Manfred, you're not on Facebook, but you can use someone else's Facebook and vote for one of those helmets, because you're no longer working for Rotax, so it's okay.
Okay, if you explain how to do it, I will do it.
All the instructions are on there. Okay, now, fantastic event. First time really to the US. You guys have any particular ideas about who might be on the podium? Is that organised, or is it just a matter of luck?
No, I think this is not a matter of luck. Yeah, I think the ones who are always the front runners, they will also be the front runners in the pre-final and final. But it will be definitely an exciting race. Yeah.
So far, yes. I was going to say, so far the racing has been exciting today, and we've only had 2 heats each. So, and Manfred, what do you think about the circuit here, the racing? You saw a little bit. I know you were in and out of the park for Mater Day, helping and supporting all the drivers. But as far as the racing goes, looking forward to tomorrow. Very, very important day, Friday, because we will know who's staying and who's going. So, yeah, second chance is probably not the best place everyone wants to be, but I'm just looking if you need wet tyres tomorrow. And, yes, tomorrow we'll bring out the Mojo Wets, because it looks like, looking at the weather forecast, we're looking forward to some rain. So it's going to make it quite interesting. Last heat tomorrow and then second chance race. And always, as always, will be which tyre, wet or dry? Wet or dry? Are you able to tell people, advise them which tyre they should use, wet or dry, during the racing?
No, normally I don't do that. You know, people come and asking about tire pressures. I'm not in the position to tell them to do this or that. Maybe then they afterwards come and say, you told me I should do this and
Yes.
that. Now, I think all the drivers, no matter which country they're coming from, they are much, much more experienced, you know, than maybe some years ago, you know. And so I think they know. And most of the drivers, they have very, very experienced mechanics. So I think they know what they are doing.
I think the world's best are here. There are coaches, trainers, people supporting, you know, fans, supporting their drivers, family, so many people, but so much experience. And this is nice. But also from the smaller Rotax Max challenges around the world, there's the best of the best in that country. And in most cases also the Rotax distributors, who are, how many?
Actually 46, and most of them are here and supporting their customers. That's also great to see.
No, this is fantastic. So almost 50 distributors from around the world.
And I also think, you know, that not only the Euro Challenge, but the Asia Challenge, the Pan Am Challenge, where European drivers, South African drivers, Australian drivers are participating, is raising the level in Asian countries or in South America, because they see what could be possible, and those countries have dramatically improved.
Yeah, of course we've seen that already today in the racing and yesterday in the qualifying. So the level, and to see some of the drivers who you may expect to have been a little bit more competitive already, are mixed up with the guys, really, that are coming from all over the world, so many countries.
And if you see, I mean, the Nations Cup at the moment, I think USA is leading. Nobody would have thought or would have expected that, you know, everybody would have thought maybe, you know, the driver from UK, you know, but...
No, it's
you see,
fantastic.
It's really fantastic.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so we want everyone to keep watching. Thanks, guys, for your time tonight. It's been interesting. A few highlights from the past, and also some interesting info that, like I said, maybe people don't know about this, you know, who are home watching or who have actually been to the grand finals and think, I remember that. So 14 years. Manfred, as you said, the baby.
Yes, the baby has grown dramatically.
Now it's a teenager, 14 years. So thanks for joining us. We wish you a wonderful event. What's left, now we really start to get serious tomorrow. And of course, stay with us. Keep watching live broadcast from about 10:15 in the morning, first junior heat. And then we will see the who's going, who's staying decision in the afternoon. We'll give you more of an update. Studio tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. We'll bring you some more special guests. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.